Hey, everybody. It's Friday and it is your day. It's Friday when I come in this community and we just chat. Yes, it's been some doozy days, but it's Friday. I've got to deliver. Yep, I got to keep my word. So, are you considered, no, that's not the word. You know that you are an original, right? Yep, you're an original. So don't try to be like the other person because it's not going to happen. Nope. And here's why. If you're trying to be like me or to like the other person or, um, somebody in your circle, it's not gonna happen. You cannot be like the next person. I'm gonna share with you why. So, if you're going to be hopping on live, let me know where you're hopping on from. And if you're watching the replay, let me know where you're watching from because today, you know, stop beating up on yourself and stop trying to be like the other person. Maybe to have the success the other person has, or to maybe what they have in terms of material things, or just about anything, think like them, act like them. No, it's not going to happen, my friends. You are an original. So put that in your little back pocket. You and I and all of us, however many million, billion people in this world, every last one of us are original. We're not a copy. We are not a copy. We are all original. And it So, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Yvette Garel, and I come to you live in this community just on a Friday. We talk just anything. We talk about life, about what inspires, motivates, educate, inform, and we just talk. And sometimes things happen during the week, and I come and I share in reference to that. So, today we're going to I'm here to remind you that you are an original. You ain't no copy. So don't even try to be like the next person, your sister, your brother, the preacher, the sailor, the president. No, it's not going to happen because you are an original and you are you. Now, you can emulate some things, behavioral things, but you just can't be like them. You're not them. All right. How we doing today? I know this is a tough one, right? This is a tough one because I know some of you are trying to be like the next person, trying to be, and we beat upon ourselves and we want to be like this. Oh, yeah, I want to be like that person. Want to be like that person. I'm here to tell you today, it's not going to happen because last week I was talking to this gentleman. I'm telling you, I get my inspiration from all over the place. And while I know that we are all made under the image and the likeness of the Creator, you want to believe in Him or you want to believe in it doesn't matter. We are made. We are made by Him. We didn't evolve out of anywhere. We are created. All right. So, so I was talking to this gentleman, and he said, "Come to think of it, my parents have six of us, and we all have different DNA. Same mama, same papa, six of us, and all of us have different DNA." And he said to me, think about it. Okay, how, when they're trying to solve all these situations, they always got to narrow it down to the DNA. Okay. He said to me, he said, we all have two thumbs, eight fingers, and everybody's fingerprint is different. My friends, we are all born, those six people were born of the same parents, mother, father, six of them. They all have a different DNA. They all have a different thumbprint. Their eyes, they might resemble each other, but The core is different. And he was just there giving me and I just sat there at his feet and listened. Not that I didn't know these things, but sometimes you gotta get a little reminder is good, because sometimes we get caught up in what you'd call it now, in the weeds, or in the just trying to, oh yeah, I want to be that, no, where we really need to be ourselves and concentrate on who we are and what we have for us. Yes. So no matter how I look like you and you look like me, and you know how it is, oh yeah, the twins, even the twins, my friends, they have a different thumbprint. The identical twins, they have a different DNA. My goodness, think about it. They're coming out of the same place. Oh my goodness, the same place, and maybe a couple of minutes behind each other, and they are absolutely different that way. So remember that you are an original. You're no copy. Okay? And so, because we are all custom made by Him, by God, we are all custom made by God, and each of us have our unique qualities. Whether the other person might not like it, that's your quality. That's what you have. That's what is in your DNA. That's how you are made. And I'm not saying that we cannot change. Okay? But we can change a lot of things about us. But there's a couple of things we can change, like our thumbprint. You know how it pans out when you press that thing down? Yep, we can change that. That's like our time stamp, right? That's our bam, that's our stamp. And our DNA. No, 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 we can change that. We could do 1,000,001 blood transfusion, eh? Yeah. Those things remain with us. So we gotta, just sometimes step back and just start to really love upon this one self that you got. Okay, so I had to do my little reading, of course, I had to do my little reading, and I grabbed two books here from my thing, and I'm like, I'm sure I'll be able to find some supporting information to bring to you in reference to this. And this is very important because, and especially, we have to train the young minds, because everybody wants to be like that person. Oh, that person is great. And nothing is wrong to emulate the behaviors, achievements, and so on. But in terms of your core, you are who you were made to be. Okay? So we can always find somebody that's richer than us, have more success than us, failed more than us, achieved more than us, have the things of this world more than us, more educated more than us. And you can go on and on and on. But what you have, it's yours. Maybe your capacity, that's what it can hold. It's yours. Hold on to it and use it. All right. So, you're going to live a life that is pleasing to the person who created you. However, your lifestyle might not be like mine, and it might not be like the other person. Okay. But so I went into this, I was reading Stephen Covey's book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay. I like to read. Okay. This is one of my books. And so I was reading this chapter. He talks um, about sharpening the saw. But at the beginning of the chapter, he talks about some core areas. He talks about the four dimensions of renewal. Okay. So in sharpening the saw, we know what it is when we sharpen the saw, sharpen the axe. We need to spend more time sharpening the axe. And so we'll spend less time cutting down the tree. I hope you know that, how that works out, because you have a task. Okay. You need to plan it out, organize, and do all of that, do the preparation. And maybe you need skills, maybe you need the knowledge, maybe you need resources, whatever it is. Grab all of that so that when you attack the problem, when you approach the situation, yeah, you're ready, you're sharp, you're ready, you have everything you need to take it down or to make it happen. Okay, so Stephen Covey talks about the four dimensions of renewal. And while I was reading that chapter, he talks about the spiritual renewal. So I want to pair, I want to hinge this particular renewal to us being the original you. Okay, you being an original, you're not a copy. You're not no carbon copy. You know how it is when we go to the photocopy machine and we have a document and we make a copy of it and we get several copies, or we go to Staples and we get copies, or whatever. We take our phone and we take a picture, we make a copy. The original document, we are, you are original, right? You're not no copy. So he talks about the spiritual dimension, which is spiritual dimension. It has to do with our our originality, my friend. Let's get it right, Yvette. Our originality, my friend. So when we know how, yeah, we know we're physical, we're social, we're emotional, we have our psychological part of us and all of that good stuff. But a lot of times we don't talk about the spiritual side of us. There is a spiritual side of us, and I'm not the pastor to preach it, but I know, we all know that there's a spiritual dimension to our life. When you think about your DNA, is different from the rest of your 12 sisters and brothers. There's it, and nobody can change that. No physical man on this earth can change that. Think about your thumbprint is yours, and it's yours, going to be yours. And when you leave here with this. Nobody can. So that there is a spiritual dimension attached to you. All right. So Stephen Covey talks about the physical, he talks about the emotional, he talks about the psychological, he talks about the mental, and all of that. And he does talk about the spiritual. So he said, we need to renew that. Yeah, we need to renew that. Why? He said the spiritual dimension is your core. If it's your core, you're an original. Come on. But sometimes we need to find that place, come back to that spot, and think about your originality. Think about how important you are. Yeah. Think about how precious you are. He said the spiritual dimension is your core, your center. We talk about center of gravity, huh? It is your center. It is your commitment to your value system. So you're an original. You want to dial back. Know who you are. Know what's important to you. Know your values and all that good stuff. And stop want to be like somebody over there. That's not you. No. So you come back to your center. It says it is a very private area of your life. Because I don't know. Only you know, right? And it is supremely important. It is supremely important. Now, when we draw upon that center of, center, the core, right? And you think about how unique you are, you think about how different you are, you think about your originality, you got to be inspired. You have to be inspired. And when you think about you, there's nobody like you. That got to make you kind of feel joyful in yourself. So we need to dial back. Now, he continued to talk about people are going to do things differently. Absolutely. All of us are going to be doing things differently because, bottom line, We are different. And there we ain't no carbon copy. My sister is different from me, and I'm different from my sister, vice versa, and so on and so forth. But we live, we coexist, right? We coexist, we live together in this world. So we're going to emulate some things from other people. Okay, so he said that in his time and in his study and so on and so forth, he dials back to meditation. Huh? He said he dials back every day to a form of meditation. Now, you choose. But he gave a great story towards the end of the chapter, well, about in the middle of the chapter. He said he was talking, somebody shared with him a story. And I thought that I wanted to just share, not the story today, but I want to pick out the salient points from the story, because I think that will help us sometimes to dial back, to go back to center, to get back to our core. Remember that we have it inside of us, all of us, different dimensions, different percentages, whatever it is that we got, it's all ours and we have it, and nobody can take that away from you. No. So he said, somebody, I think was the name of Arthur Gordon, shared a wonderful, intimate story with him. And he said, you know, how he got his spiritual renewal. Now he says, and he called it the turn of the tide. I'm just reading on my notes here. So the turn of the tide. And he said, you know, sometimes we feel like everything is just falling down and just like nothing is working, and we just become overwhelmed and just frustrated, and you know, like nothing goes the way we kind of figure that we want it to go, and we become disillusioned sometimes, and things happen in your life. You know, we said life happens, right? That's the word we use, the terminology. We life happening, man. Things are just like bad, ain't nothing going on, and you name them off, the family and the children and the dog and the cat and the money and the finances and all that good stuff. We go down the road. He said, and when you're not enthusiastic about anything, you get into that anxiety, depressive mood. So, and he said that the man said his situation was growing worse and worse every day. So he wanted to get help from a medical doctor. Okay, so the doctor told him, because you know how when we feel sick all the time, we go to the doctor, right? Sometimes we just need to dial it back, because the medical doctor can't figure it out. So he said, this man, he went to the medical doctor. This is good for all of us. And the doctor told him that he should spend the following day in a place where he was happiest. Remember now, we are originally just one of us. So what moves you don't move me, right? So he told this man to spend the day in a place where he was happiest. As a child, where he was, when we were children, we were really happy and everything, nothing bothers us. As we grow older, everything becomes everything, and so on and so forth. So he told the man, go spend a day in a place where you feel happiest as a child. Okay. He said he could take some food, but he could not talk to anyone or to read or write or listen to the radio. Now let's dial it back. I would say you couldn't take your cell phone. Let's see how that works. You couldn't take your cell phone with you. You couldn't take your laptop. You couldn't take your tablet. So I would add that to the book. Right? Then he said the doctor wrote him on 4 prescriptions. 4 prescriptions. Now, remember now, he went to the medical doctor, and the doctor realized that what he was suffering from wasn't a medical issue. It was more of a psychological one, was more of something that was connected, he was becoming disconnected from his true being, right? So he wrote him 4 prescriptions. He said he should open them up, one at 9, one at 12, one at 3, and one at 6. Time, different times a day, right? One at 9 o'clock, one at 12 o'clock, one at 3 o'clock, and one at 6 o'clock, right? So for a prescription, open them up at 4 different times. Now, I am sure if you went to the doctor and the doctor told you that, you'd be like, are you crazy? Are you kidding me? This is bizarre. What the hell, right? I figured the man said something like that too. Yeah, asked him if he was serious. Okay, so of course he said, he wasn't joking. Said when he should go. So the next morning, he went to this. I guess he went to his favorite place as a child where he felt happy. So the guy went to the beach. Okay, so at 9 o'clock, he opened up his first prescription. Now this is good for all of us because sometimes we need to just get back to center. We need to just find a place where we can just breathe, where we can meditate, where we can just let go of some of these things that are happening around us in the world and so on and so forth, and find ourselves. And because we got it up in us, it's gonna be up in us. It's not gonna be over there in somebody else. It's gonna be up in us, right? Yeah, remember that. Because we are original, we made for that. We were fashioned in the image and likeness for a purpose, and we were given what we need. Okay, so the first thing he opened up, it read, listen carefully. Now, this man is on the beach, and his first prescription is listen carefully. Remember, now he can take food, he can't talk to anybody, he can't listen to nothing, and I would add no cell phone, no tablet, no laptop, no walkie-talkie, just you trying to dial in back to the center. Said, listen carefully. I can imagine that he started to listen carefully, right? Of course, you know what he's thinking that the doctor is insane. What the hell you send me out here and tell me to go to a place, and then the first thing you said, listen carefully. So in order for you to listen carefully, you got to be quiet. You've got to be quiet. I know. You can do this at home, wherever you are, even your office. Just shut it down and just listen carefully. You would be surprised because I've done it before, even before I read this. Listen carefully. All right. Then, of course, so whatever you heard, maybe the birds, the leaves, the trees, the ocean, but he was listening carefully. So at 12 o'clock, he took out his next prescription. And he said, try reaching back. Try reaching back. So try reaching back. Oh, try reaching back. Go back in time, right? Go back in time. Back to your childhood, back to the happy time, back to the time when you were just like on top of your game. Go back. Try going back in your mental. Okay? Right. Reaching back. The guy must be like, what am I reaching back to? What the hell is, I don't want to go back there. Maybe at herbal. I don't know. Whatever it was. He said, go think about your happiest time. So now reach back into those moments. Okay? So this is interesting. Then at 3 o'clock, he took out the next prescription. And the next prescription said, examine your motives. Aha. It said, examine your motives. Now you got to look up on the inside. No, it's an introspecting time. Huh? It's a time for, let me check up what's going on, Yvette, my motives. What am I thinking? So now that's getting really deep, right? Examine your motives. Now you could fight all you want. Now all you got is food. You can't call nobody. You can't call nobody. You can't read no book. You can't have no cell phone. You don't have a laptop. You don't have no tablet. You don't have no device. It's just you So first thing you got to do is to listen carefully. Now I can imagine that probably drove that man insane. Listen carefully, but I believe after a while the message got home. Huh? Then he said, try reaching back. Wow, going back in time. Then he said, examine your motives. My goodness. My goodness, hi, Miss Charlene. They said, examine your motives. A lot of times we don't even examine our motives. We just fly off the cuff. We don't even think about, why am I really doing this? Because remember now, you're an original. So I'm not the one that doing, people said, oh, you made me do it. Hello? You made me do it. You caused me to do that. If it wasn't you, I wouldn't do that. Remember, you are an original. You ain't no copy, right? So if you do, or you did, right? You did, not me. You. And when I do, I did, right? It's just me, right? So I might have been influenced. Now that's another kettle of fish, right? That's different. I might have been influenced, but the influence, I didn't have to take it. I didn't have to act upon what was on my, because I'm original. Yeah. So that was 3 o'clock. He said, examine your motives. So that's a good one. We always want to examine because our thought processes can be very devious. It can be very conniving. It can be very good. It can be very, it depends. Everybody's different. So the number at 9 o'clock, I mean at 3 o'clock, right? At 6 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So it was his last prescription, correct? Yeah. He said he took out that prescription and it didn't take him long to fill that prescription. It said, write your worries on the sand. Write your worries on the sand. I can imagine that man start to write on the sand. Start to write. I don't know which part of the sand he wrote on, how far he was from the water. But think about it. As he was writing, if he was writing close to the water, the waves are going to come in. But he probably went a little farther off. And he wrote in the sand. Whatever he wrote was what he was worrying about. And then after he was done, he turned and he walked away. Didn't look back. Didn't look back. But you know what happened, right? The tide came in and took that all away. Okay? So, it might not be something that we talk about all the time. But our center of gravity, or our center, our core, what keeps us, our spiritual connection, our spirituality embodies those parts of us that you can see mine and I can see yours. You know what I'm saying? So we need to always remember that there is something and someone who is keeping us in check. He made us that way. Yeah? And you can change that. Right? So spiritual renewal is an investment you can make in yourself. It takes time. Because some of the things that I'm sure that man was told to do, I'm absolutely positively sure he didn't want to do them. And he probably considered them to be silly. But when you think about them, if you want to try them at home, when you think about them, it does help you to get out of that stalemate stage. Remember now, he was frustrated. He was not enthusiastic about anything, demotivated. He just needed some time to reconnect. So he said, listen carefully. Try reaching back. Examine your motives. And he said, write out your worries. So he wrote his worries on the sand. When you write in the sand, what happened? I don't have to tell you that. Now, so what Stephen Covey said, he said, we need to take time to pull on what we have on the inside. Whether it's our leadership skill, whether it's our speaking skill, whether it's our passion for health, whatever you have, take time to pull back on that, because it is what keeps us grounded. That's the center of our lives. Huh? Life is ultimately about is that thing. No matter how we go out to work, we work, do the job, whatever is required out there. We come back home and we whatever, you go to the movies, you go to the vacation, you have good time with the family. But when you get to that point, when you begin to sit in a quiet space and you begin to listen carefully and you begin to dial back, try going back. And when you begin to examine your motives, and then you start to write out all those worries, and please write them down in the sand so that the waves can just take them away. You need that. We all need that peace, right? He said, it's out that when we can connect to that, that will what that's what life is all about. So no matter how great we become or how great we want to become and how famous and all of that, I think about all these people with great wealth, and people said, oh, they're just not happy. I'm not gonna go there. But he said that ability to pull back to center, that's what life is all about. And if you can do that, it will spread like wildfire, because you'll be able to help folks to get back to center. And that is the umbrella, he says, that covers over everything else in our life. He said it renews us, it refreshes us, and particularly if we recommit to doing it on a, then we will be more prone to remain our original self, because that's what we got. That's ours. And nobody can take that away from us. And we can become a better person. We talk about becoming a better version of ourselves. We got to grow that spiritual side of us. Huh? Um, People talk about everything else. We don't stress so much on the spiritual side. There is that spiritual connection, my friends. Our faith. I remember I was in a session at one point in time, and the question was asked: Do people who do business do Christianity and business or something of this sort? If business people are Christians, something of this sort. And that was so funny, because business people are people. Huh? Christianity is a way of life, but business people are people. But Christianity, and I'm not the preacher here now, nor the religious, whatever, but Christianity hinges to your faith. So business people, a lot of business people are Christians who hold their faith in high esteem, because that's what keeps the connection. That's what keeps them grounded. Look around. You think for yourself. You can go on the internet, go on the radio, and a lot of people, Christians, they talk about their faith. Yeah. So some of us don't want to talk about that. But anyway, I won't bore you any longer. But anyway, just remember that you're an original. You're not no copy. You have a specific DNA, because you know what? 6 of you, 10 of you born to the same mama and papa. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. Yeah. Why you think huh? Now we talk about pupil recognition. Oh, yeah, look like me. I can look like you. But anyway, so remember now, you are you, and you have everything you need, because that's what the good book says. Gave us everything that we need. Right. So go ahead and go use it, my friends. And remember now that spiritual connection, the spiritual renewal. And try that those prescriptions that man got. He said, listen, carefully. Or listen, what's it? Listen carefully. Yeah. Then he said, try going back. Try going back. Then he said, examine your motives. And then he said, um, write out your worries. Yeah, but please write them on the sand so that the waves can take it. All right, my friends, it is Friday, and I hope that you guys are having a great time wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for checking in, Miss Charlene. Yeah, have a great time. Whatever it is, try to get back to that core, that center that keeps you grounded. Don't forget. Okay? We all need that. At the end of the day, when all the fluff is gone, we need that center. Yeah, we need that central position. So we need to have that down pat, you know? And yeah. So I hope you're taking care of yourself. Of course, number one, be safe, take care of your loved ones, your family, your friend, and just spend some time in meditation. It's a good way to start your day. The people write all the time and miracle morning and all kinds of, they come up with ways that you can start your morning, get you started right. But you can develop a DMO for yourself for your morning. What do? A lot of people pray, they read the Bible, or they read a book, motivation, whatever it is, put it together. Command your morning, huh? With whatever. So you speak affirmation, positive affirmation, whatever it is. Set it up. You can set it up for yourself. You don't have to wait on to go find it on the internet, or go find it, go buy books or whatever. Come on, people. Get back to center and do your spiritual renewal. All right, my friends. I got to tell you that this week, the week past, well, the last 2 weeks has been really difficult for me. We have death in the family, then we got people are sick, and just on and on and on. And so I'm telling you, I had to find my center of gravity. Yes, I had to dial back into the core so I could regain my strength. Yes, because it's been a while, it's been a lot. But because I'm original, I'm not no carbon copy, and I know who I am. So yeah, didn't take me no time to listen carefully. Try going back to that place that I know where I have peace and quiet and tranquility. And then examine myself. What are my motives? Come on, Yvette, what you doing this for? Why are you doing this? Yeah, get back to that place. And then I'm gonna write it down. Because you know what? But not only write it down, but when I write it down, where? And then I'm gonna deliver that back to him in prayer. And then I'm good. I want to thank you so much for listening. I see you next week. Okay, take care, people. All right, bye-bye, my friends. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Miss Charlene. I hope you I hope you got something out of what out of this live. Just leave your comment. Thank you. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.